Back in 1998, Bvlgari did something quite unexpected. They introduced a watch made of aluminium and rubber. Bvlgari, the Italian luxury brand that is well known for high-end jewelry, precious stones, precious metals and quite high prices. So imagine the surprise when they came with an affordable watch made in aluminium and rubber. Yet it was highly successful and became a proper jet-set watch at the time. Now 22 years later, it's back, slightly updated, only with mechanical content, and the size has been increased to 40 millimeters. Bvlgari Aluminium watch is still a highly graphic combination of black and white and still made in aluminium and rubber. We're going to talk to the brand's CEO, Jean-Christophe Babin, about this super cool new summer watch, the Bvlgari Aluminium watch.
Well, actually, the first aluminium was born more than 20 years ago, in the late 90s, and was immediately a global success, a watch which was really breaking all the codes of luxury watchmaking. It was extremely contemporary in terms of design, true to the Italian origins and tradition of Bvlgari. At the same time, it was introducing materials which insofar had never been part of luxury watchmaking, namely aluminium and rubber, which often were considered as not suitable for watches, and Bvlgari made a revolution by bringing in watchmaking high quality rubber and aluminium so that the watch would, besides the beauty of the design, also be a timeless timepiece which 20 years later you can continue to wear very proudly. So I would say a generational watch. I'm part myself of that generation. I was in my late 30s, early 40s in those years. And it's a watch that 20 years before getting into Bvlgari, I purchased for myself, just to give you an example on how unique it was on the market. And its secret was also that it was for a brand like Bvlgari, so the magnificent Roman jewelers selling pieces worth millions of euros. It was reasonably priced, which in the watch industry is something which is not so common. And it was one more reason, obviously, of the success of this piece. Why 22 years later do we revive it, or let's say I prefer reinvent it? First, because ever since it has been discontinued more than 10 years ago, so many clients, retailers distributing Bvlgari have really asked, prayed, begged that we bring it back because they still have a lot of demand. We continue to see on the counterfeit markets this watch as a bestseller, unfortunately because we hate counterfeits, but fortunately because it showed that despite discontinuing the product, there is a big demand behind it. And so we decided really with Fabrizio Buonamassa, our chief designer, to reinvent it. So what should be Bvlgari Aluminium in 2020? And the answer was, on the one hand, it should be a bit bigger than in '98 because the trends have evolved in the last 20 years in watches. B, that Bvlgari, since that period, has become a 100% mechanical watch manufacturer when it comes for men watches. So I would say an high-end mechanical engine with a broader diameter, and obviously when it comes to aluminium treatment and rubber treatment, the last 20 years have been also quite a revolution. We know that some brands have made their reputation on rubber. And so we have also capitalized with the best in the industry to come up with a rubber of much higher quality, much softer touch feeling. Let's not forget that this rubber is caressing the skin all the day. For a watch which is sturdier than ever and which is really a true sports watch. But at the same time, at a board meeting, this watch is absolutely in its right place. It can be hugely elegant, so it's probably the most versatile watch that Bvlgari ever crafted. And the new aluminium range made of watches, we have two references to start with a white dial, which is the historical one, and a black dial, which is more epitomizing Bvlgari recent years of success in men watches, especially with the Octo black dial, and the chronograph. It looks very much like the historical one, but there's not even one screw, which is common to the global bestseller of the late 90s, early 2000s. As I mentioned, the first Bvlgari Aluminium success was related to revolution in luxury watch design, integration of materials which had never been used ever before, like aluminum and rubber, but also prices which for a luxury watch brand like Bvlgari were pretty much attractive. And this third dimension, obviously, has been also included in the new Bvlgari Aluminium 2020. It's coming at 2,800 Swiss francs for the watch and 4,000 for the chronograph, which again, having in mind the quality of the movements, the quality of the materials, all the expertise of a brand like Bvlgari, totally confirmed by the Octo saga and the Finissimo revolution, is something extremely unique on the market, which I'm convinced will help really energize the luxury Swiss watch market already this year to recover from part of the losses due to the COVID-19, and for sure will be for our retailers and our boutiques an incredible sales booster for 2021 onwards.
You never know what's around the next corner.